15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high-energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome back on the Success Blueprint. I hope that you had a fantastic weekend and a good start to your Monday. It is 15-Minute Monday time again, and let's get right into it. Today we talk about the loyalty trap and when staying becomes self-betrayal. Because loyalty is one of the most admired traits on earth. It's also one of the most abused tribe. Let me tell you, I see it around me. Because loyalty can be noble or it can be fear with a halo. It can be love or it can be your nervous system begging for familiarity. And that sounds familiar. I'm sure you can resonate with that. And this matters because there are millions of people right now staying in situations that are quietly killing them. Jobs that drain their dignity, relationships that have turned into emotional maintenance contracts, and friendships that survive on history but not respect. I hear that in coaching, when people struggle at work, when they struggle in leadership, mainly and mostly it comes down to personal things. Yes, there's business things, but the reason why they're spiraling, why they feel out of control is because of things that are happening in their personal life. And these things staying because of loyalty, they happen at work as well with your peers. They don't stay because it's right. They stay because leaving feels like betrayal. But here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud, and I'm sharing with you, tribe. Sometimes staying is the betrayal, not of the other person, of yourself. Not the other person, of yourself. Listen to it again. So today we're going deep. We're going to expose how loyalty turns into a trap, why people confuse commitment with self-abandonment, and I'm giving you a clarity test that cuts through guilt and turns confusion into direction. This episode isn't for people who want comfort, it's for people who are tired of lying to themselves. If that is you, it sounds familiar, well then you're right here, let's strap in. What's the problem here? The loyalty trap is simple in structure and brutal in impact. You stay in something that no longer fits because you don't want to be the bad person. You tell yourself, I've invested too much time. They need me. It's not that bad. I should be grateful. If I leave, I'm disloyal. And slowly, loyalty stops being a value and becomes an excuse. In jobs, loyalty often becomes the fear of uncertainty dressed up as professionalism. And in relationships, it becomes emotional debt. After everything we've been through, how can I leave? In friendships, it becomes nostalgia. We go way back, even while they disrespect your growth. The problem isn't loyalty, tribe. It's loyalty without reciprocity, loyalty without alignment, loyalty without truth. Because loyalty to a system that violates your values is not virtue, it's submission. And what is the hidden cost here? Why do we stay so long? And what does it cost us? What is the currency that we're bleeding? Let's talk about the price tag. When you stay past expiry, you don't just lose time, you lose yourself. You start shrinking your standards to make the situation feel acceptable. You normalize disrespect because confronting it would force a decision. You stop dreaming because dreaming would expose how trapped you feel. And you become emotionally numb because feeling fully would be unbearable. And then you wake up one day with a quiet rage you can't explain. Not rage at them, rage at you for betraying your own inner truth to keep the peace. Staying too long turns you into a version of yourself that survives but doesn't live. And what makes it even more dangerous is that loyalty gets praised. People call you strong. They call you committed. They call you reliable. Meanwhile, you're disintegrating privately. And that's right there is the trap. It looks like virtue from the outside and feels like slow death on the inside. But fear you not, today I will give you a 5-step framework for immediate implementation so that you can stop the cycle of commitment that becomes self-abandonment. This is practical. Use it, write it, apply it to your job, your relationship, your friendships, your business partnerships, any situation where you feel torn. Step number 1, the truth inventory. Before you decide, stop narrating, start observing. The action, write 3 lists. What I give. Time, energy, loyalty, patience, effort, sacrifice. What I receive. Respect, care, growth, safety, alignment, reciprocity. What I tolerate, things you keep excusing, dismissing, or normalizing. And now be honest. If a friend described the situation to you, would you call it loyalty or would you call it self-neglect? This step breaks denial because it makes the imbalance visible. It's the first thing recognizing. Step number 2, the reciprocity test. Loyalty without reciprocity is not loyalty, it's a one-way donation. The action that you take here, I want you to ask yourself, do they protect me the way I protect them? Do they consider my needs or only their comfort? When I struggle, do they show up or do they disappear? Is my loyalty being honored or being used? You're not asking for perfection. You're asking for mutual regard. If the relationship requires you to bleed quietly so others can stay comfortable, that is not loyalty. That is emotional exploitation, even if unintentional. Step number 3, the identity cost test. This is the real one. This is where truth hits. The action that you take here, ask yourself, who do I become when I stay here? What part of me gets smaller? What part of me goes quiet? What standards do I keep lowering? And what version of myself am I rehearsing daily? Because environments shape identity. Staying isn't neutral, it's training. If staying forces you to betray your values, your voice, or your boundaries, the cost isn't time, it's integrity. Highlight that again in your head. The cost isn't time, it's integrity. Step number 4, the fear audit. Now we deal with the halo. Most people don't stay because they love. They stay because they're afraid. And the action that you take here, complete this sentence without softening it. If I leave, I fear. And then you fill it in. Let me give you some samples. Fear of being alone. Fear of financial uncertainty. Fear of conflict. Fear of looking like the villain. Fear of starting over. Fear of being judged. And then you ask yourself, is my loyalty rooted in love or in fear management? This matters because fear-based loyalty creates resentment. Love-based loyalty creates peace. Step number 5, the clarity decision. Repair, redesign, or release. Most people think the only options are stay or leave. That's false. There are 3 paths. So the action that you take here, choose one. Number 1, repair. If the situation has goodwill and potential, you confront reality directly. You name what must change and you set timelines. Not vague promises, measurable changes. I'll ask my clients very powerful questions. One of them is, let's say they are constantly being let down by their best friend. So I will say to them, ask yourself this question. If in 3 months' time your friend would be showing up in a way that you will feel that the friendship is reciprocated, what would have to be true that isn't true right now? And then you dig deep and you can apply this question to any other area. Try it out. Sounds like a simple question, but it is powerful. Use it, dig deep, and you see. The choice number 2, redesign. If it's not broken but misaligned, you renegotiate roles, boundaries, expectations, less access, different structure, clearer standards. Number 3, release. If the system requires you to shrink, tolerate disrespect, or abandon your values, you leave. Cleanly, calmly, without drama. The key is this. Don't stay in a situation that requires a smaller you. And what?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey Tribe, this episode is brought to you by Doc Marty's Mushrooms, a premium range of medicinal mushroom supplements designed to support your energy, focus, immune system, and overall well-being. Whether you're battling brain fog, stress, or just want to feel your best naturally, Doc Marty has you covered. And I know Doc Marty personally, and I know the kind of guy he is. He would never put his name on a product that doesn't deliver. And here's the best part. Listeners of this podcast get 20% off their first order. Just head to docmarty.com and use the code DAN20, DAN20 at checkout. And please, Tribe, don't miss this opportunity. The deeper meaning here. Well, what loyalty was always meant to be. Loyalty is not attachment. Loyalty is not fear of change. Loyalty is not self-erasure. Real loyalty is a value, and values must serve life. If loyalty becomes a chain, it's no longer a value. It's captivity with good branding. Some people stay because they think leaving makes them disloyal. But staying in a situation that violates your self-respect makes you disloyal to the one person you're guaranteed to live with forever. And that's you. And here's the paradox. When you become loyal to yourself, you actually become more loyal to others because your loyalty is clean, not desperate. It's chosen and not trapped. Just recently in a coaching engagement, a high-performing manager stayed in a company where promises were always next quarter. Pay didn't match responsibility. Growth was dangled like a carrot. The workload expanded while support shrank. He stayed because he was loyal, because he didn't want to abandon his team, because he was not that kind of a person. And then through our engagement, he realized the company wasn't loyal to him. It was loyal to what he could produce. He didn't leave in anger. He left with clarity. And the moment he did, he became a better leader elsewhere because he stopped confusing suffering with integrity. I had a client that described her friendship. They were friends and had known each other since school. One grew, healed, changed. The other stayed bitter, mocking, dismissive. Every time she spoke to her friend about goals, her friend joked, "Who do you think you are now?" The friendship survived on memory, not respect. And eventually, she realized history is not a contract, it's a chapter. And chapters end. And guess what happened? The necessary happened. She took responsibility for herself, she was loyal to herself, and she moved on. And another client that I assisted through a relationship squabble, let's call her Taryn, was in a long-term relationship with someone who wasn't abusive, just absent. He didn't invest emotionally. He didn't grow. He kept promising he'd change, but nothing moved. She stayed because she was loyal, because she didn't want to give up, because she feared being alone. We ran the identity cost test, and that broke the spell. She said, "I'm becoming someone who accepts crumbs." We didn't rush the decision. We designed a clarity repair with timelines, specific behaviors, a deadline. Nothing changed. When she finally left, she didn't become bitter. She became calm. Her self-respect returned and her anxiety dropped. Her life expanded. And she said something profound. "I thought leaving would destroy me. Staying was destroying me." And that's the loyalty trap tribe. And let me give you some advanced strategies for extra depth. The sunk cost detox. Time invested is not a reason to continue. It's a reason to decide faster. The standard ladder. If someone violates your standards repeatedly, access reduces step by step. You don't announce it, you enforce it. And the quiet exit principle. The cleanest exits are calm. No speeches, no revenge, no courtroom closing statements. Just alignment. Alignment with yourself and your own values and core beliefs. And that's it. Quick and easy, powerful. Take that, write it down, listen to it again, make some notes. This is a powerful framework that will help you in any situation if you have the discipline to apply it and not just walk away with it and have some motivation for the day and then just go back to autopilot and your normal self. Change happens with actions. How willing are you to take those actions? That's why I'm giving you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. This week, do a loyalty trap audit. Number 1, identify one situation you're staying in out of guilt or fear. Number 2, run the truth inventory and reciprocity test. Then number 3, do the identity cost test. Number 4, choose one. Repair, redesign, or release. And number 5, take one action within 72 hours that matches your choice. Action ends confusion, silence feeds it. And that's it. And if this episode hit you in the chest, share it with someone who's calling self-betrayal loyalty. Subscribe, leave a review, and join me next Monday for another episode of the 15-Minute Monday. That's how we grow the tribe. That's how we expand. That's how you help me grow. Copy the episode link, share it with 3 people on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, TikTok, wherever you communicate. Just take one action that helps me for sitting here every week and creating content for you for free. That would be a great way to appreciate it. And I say thank you in advance. And let's not forget our sponsor, Doc Marty Mushrooms, the married man now. Clarity requires a calm, regulated system. Doc Martens mushroom blends support focus, resilience, and steady energy. Useful when you're making hard decisions without emotional chaos. So visit docmarty.com. Success Blueprint listeners receive an exclusive to us 20% discount on their first purchase. The discount code is DAN20, DAN20. Use it, it's worth it. Go over to his website, give him some love. It's a powerful product and you will not regret it. And in closing, tribe, let me leave you with this. Loyalty is not staying no matter what. Loyalty is staying when it's aligned with truth. If staying requires you to betray your values, silence your voice, and shrink your standards, then it isn't loyalty anymore. It's fear wearing a crown. You don't owe your life to old promises made by an older version of you. You owe your future to the person you're becoming. And if you needed permission to choose yourself today, take it. I'm giving it to you, because the only loyalty that doesn't rot over time is the kind that includes you. And that was it. Daniel Craig Johnson, your host on the Success Blueprint, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care, tribe.